Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Great to see you, as it always is. I hope you're all doing good. We've reached the finals over in Athens and in Metz. We've got two of the best in store for us today. It shouldn't take that much of our time. So make sure you get your predictions in the comments. Anything that I'll be going for today will be in the pinned comment. As always, you're more than welcome to take a look at that. Take it if you want, leave it if you must. It's entirely up to you. The choice is yours. But like the video if you would. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. I'd appreciate it if you did. We continue to grow each and every day. It'd be an honour to welcome you to the squad. Now that's out the way, we'll have a recap of the semi-finals. How did we all get on? How did we all do? Did we win? Did we lose? Did we just come close? Most importantly, did we enjoy the games? I'd like to say it was an easy day for me, but what turned out, it looked like it was going to be super easy. But what turned out to look super easy ended up being anything but. But in the end, Lorenzo Musetti on the money line against Sebastian Corda. Thank you very much. 4 in a row. Say something about that. Have a bowl of that, if you will. Very, very pleased with how this week has gone. Absolutely very pleased indeed. But that's just me. That's just me. Let me know how you managed, and we'll waste no more time. For one last time, over in Greece and in France. Let's get it on. It's going to be Djokovic and Lorenzo Musetti. I'm looking forward to this one. It could be a decent one. I hope it's a decent one anyway. I've seen this quite a few times over the seasons. I imagine you have too. Played each other 9 times since 2021. Head to head is 8-1 to Djokovic. That's right. Very, very one-sided indeed. Now for the most part, depending who it is, when you get small head to heads like 1-0, 1-1s, 2-1s, I always say they don't really hold that much weight. There's certainly no foundation upon which to build your church, that's for sure. But a head to head like 8-1 against someone like Djokovic, I have to admit, in the case of Lorenzo Musetti, the vibe around this matchup is extremely ominous. Extremely ominous. He hasn't really fared well against Djokovic that much in the past. As a matter of fact, that one win 2 years ago, Monte Carlo, anyone remember watching that? I do. Very good performance, but ever since, he's never really come close. And even prior to that, come close the first time out on the clay, beat him on the clay in Monte Carlo. Seems to do better in these slower conditions. Well, most importantly, he does better against Djokovic on the clay. Still doesn't mean he gets past him now. Djokovic has won the last 5 games in a row. That's right. Ever since Monte Carlo in 2023, he beat him in the same tournament next year. Beat him in the French Open same year. Wimbledon last year. Slapped him up in the Olympics last year. And then, most recently, they played each other on the hard court earlier on in the season over in Miami. Absolute destruction from Djokovic, 6-2, 6-2. Now you don't need me to tell you, one of these players, I'll let you guess, one of these players has a clear advantage on hard courts. Absolutely. You don't need me to tell you who it is. Djokovic has just cruised through the whole week. There's been times where he may not have looked at his best, but that's what he can do. May give you a close first set, give you a bit of a scare. But he's super clutch. When he needs to, he'll just come in and he turns it up, and then no one can cope with him. It's certainly been the case so far this week. Tabilo, Nuno Borges, Jana Hanfman. Yeah, routine to say the least. As far as spreads go, I don't know what the spread's going to be on this. You are getting decent odds for Djokovic as well. Just food for thought. 1.5. 1.5 is an ideal parlay piece. 1.5 next to Djokovic. I can't believe what I'm seeing. But we'll touch on that in a moment. Tabilo wouldn't have covered the spread. He let that run away in the second set. Nuno Borges would have done it. Jana Hanfman, I thought it would have been 5.5. It may have been 4.5. Not too sure. Don't think he would have covered the 4.5. So, 6-3, 6-4. Absolutely not. Lorenzo Musetti, on the other hand, kind of struggled against Stan Wawrinka. Pulled that one back. Looked good. Alexander Muller was no match for him. The match against Sebastian Corda in the semi-finals yesterday. Shout out Lorenzo Musetti, pulling through for me. Very happy with that. Although I can't believe it went to a third and final set. I thought it was going to go to a tiebreaker that he may have just lost as well, by the looks of things. Cruising. There was remnants within that match of the match that he had earlier on with Sonego in Paris, where he looked so good. Took the first set, looked fantastic. Kind of hit a wall in that second set, and then he kind of struggled to come back from it. As a matter of fact, I believe Lorenzo Musetti is extremely lucky that Sebastian Corda managed to break himself right at the end of that third set, because for the most part, Ever since that third set, ever since the first one rather, Musetti didn't look like breaking shit. He didn't look like breaking shit. Looked like he kind of started to wilt under the pressure of the service games. Sebastian Korda didn't have much to offer in terms of a return. The backhand as well. The longer that match went on, that backhand looked so dicey. It's dicey at the best of times against someone like Djokovic. You know, it feels like it's just primed. This is primed for Djokovic to exploit the holes of Lorenzo Musetti on the hard court. I really do. Although Musetti, he's now a top 10 player. He's been fantastic all season. Even on the hard court, he has made some massive improvements. But I fear Djokovic may just still be, even at this point, a bridge too far. I do. I don't know what Lorenzo Musetti has got. Even on the indoor hard court, what has Lorenzo Musetti got that is better than Djokovic? I'll let you tell me if you can. I'm just going to have to assume Djokovic wins this one. At 1.5 as well, that is a solid parlay piece. Spread 2.5. I might take Djokovic on the spread. I might take him just to win it straight up on a parlay. I'll be sure to let you know. Make sure you have a look in the pinned comments if anything's there. If it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. I just think it's kind of written in the stone in this one, innit? Won the last 5. I'd say there's all these hardcourt meetings have been absolute destruction. Even the one this year. This year where Musetti's been playing out of his skin, I think it's time. How many titles has Djokovic won this season? Just the one. Has he won just the one? Was it on the clay? I remember him. He took one on the clay, didn't he? And then, it's mad. He's been to he hasn't really played that many tournaments when you think about it. You haven't really seen him that much. Yeah, he won just the one. It was over in Geneva and played the 4 games. Will he wrap the season up with another title? Will Musetti finally get himself the first title of the season? Possibly. It looked like he wanted it a bit more than Sebastian Korda, and it looked like Sebastian Korda really wanted a good go at the final as well. So I highly doubt it's going to get any easier for Lorenzo Musetti today. He kind of began to struggle against Sebastian Korda. I would have to assume Djokovic is going to be just as bad, if not 10 times worse. You're going to be under more pressure. You're going to face more resistance. Give me Djokovic for the win. As a matter of fact, you know what? It's the final. We've had a fantastic week, 4-1. Have a bowl of that. Say something about that if you will. I might go Djokovic minus 2.5. If I don't go for the parlay, it'll be Djokovic on that spread. Keep an eye on the pinned comments. Over in France, one last time for Metz, if you will. We've got Cam Norrie and we've got Tien. Most definitely the final we well and truly deserve. I'm very excited for this. Dare I say, I'm probably, if anything, just as much, if not a little bit more excited for this one than I am for Djokovic and Musetti. I do believe this one does possess somewhat a bit more of a mystique around it, Although, if the last 2 meetings are anything to go off, you'd probably say Tien tends to hold a slight advantage in these matchups. They've played each other 3 times before, all 3 games coming this year, all 3 matches on the hard court. Quite a nice little sample size indeed. 6-3, 7-5 in the first one for Cam Norrie, Hong Kong, start of the year. Fast forward to Acapulco, over in Mexico, tie-breaking at 6-3 for Tien. And then, not that long ago, fairly recently, Shanghai Masters, once again, Tien, rinse and repeat, carbon copy, tie-break, 6-3, happy days. And I believe he's playing just as good, if not a lot better, right now than what he did when he last faced him, that's sure. Cam Norrie. Am I surprised Cam Norrie is in yet another final over in Metz? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He looked fantastic last year. Unfortunately got beat by Benjamin Bonzi in the final, that's right. That was just around the time Benjamin Bonzi had us all believing he was going to go into the Australian Open on an absolute flyer. And he didn't do anything of the sort. Well, that's neither here nor there. Good shit from Cam Norrie. But I must say, it's been anything but easy for this guy. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised he's still standing. Kind of surprised he's still had it in him to do what he done against Sonego, because he's had to do that all week. He's dropped sets to every single player. Valentin Royer, then Arthur Cazot, Kirian Jacquet, and he dropped one to Sonego. That's right. Fantastic stuff. It's quite concerning, dropping sets, especially the amount of on-court time that does accumulate. That will most definitely rack up if we're comparing it to the time of Leonard Tien. He has absolutely annihilated everyone. I mean, he hasn't really had much to deal with apart from Berrettini after dropping the one and only set to Berrettini. He managed to come back and make him look like a challenger player. Great stuff from Leonard Tien. I didn't really understand why he was a dog against Berrettini, because I pretty much had him as the favourite, or pretty much in or around the favourite to win this tournament prior to that quarter-final match. So to see him as a dog, fantastic. We took that. Happy days. And then he was a big favourite again against Vitaly Sachko. I mean, Hugo Blanchett, Moez Achagui, Berrettini in the middle, and then Vitaly Sachko in the semi-finals. I mean, I say that Cam Norrie ain't exactly had much to deal with. It was only really Sonego where you'd say it started to maybe heat up. Valentin Royer, Cazot, Jacquet, you'd take Cam Norrie against all of them pretty much any day of the week, wouldn't you? The one against Sonego, given the amount of time on the court he'd spent, did possess somewhat of a threat, but no, he dealt with him all the same. Is he going to have what it takes to go not only one more than what he done last season and take the title, but is he ready to go to war with Leonard Tien if need be? I'm not so sure. Now, you know me, folks. I would love nothing more than to see Cam Norrie wrap this season up with a title over the Mets. Nothing more. But at the same time, I am not against Leonard Tien getting himself a title either, because I'll be honest with you, I feel like he quite frankly deserves one. I think he deserves at least one this season. He's been so good, especially as of late. Will this be the second final he's been to this season? That's right. Ever since we come back to the hard court, he discovered something, and he's been shit hot. He got to the final in Beijing, ran into Yannick Sinner, unfortunately. But now he has a much, much better chance to get himself a nice little trophy, if you ask me, against Cam Norrie. Absolutely. He looks game. He looks dialed in. He looks ready to go. I don't think it's going to get any easier for Cam Norrie. I don't. Leonard Tien just has bags of energy, don't he? He has bags of energy. I can't see Cam Norrie being any fitter for this match. Getting Leonard Tien around 1.6. Sound. Yeah. I kind of hate it. Kind of hate myself for saying it, but like I say, my heart wants Cam Norrie to win. In a way, I'll be cheering for him to win. But if I was to bet this game, I feel like I'd be taking a piece of Leonard Tien today. I just can't help myself. I would have to go with Leonard Tien. You could parlay the two favourites together today, get yourself a nice plus money double. That just seems to be the easy way to go. Maybe it's too easy. I'm not too sure. If one of these favourites is going to lose today, who do you reckon it's going to be? Let me know in the comments. I would have to go with Leonard Tien, just grinding this one. Not even grinding this one out. I'd go to Cam Norrie, just... Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and overthink it. I'm not. Can't sit here and account for Tien taking a set and then Norrie pulling off a comeback. If he's got it left in the tank, I imagine he'll be more than inspired to do so. If he's got it left, he's got it left. Cam Norrie's obviously proved to us that he can beat Leonard Tien, but this was early season Leonard Tien. Late season, the Leonard Tien that stands before us today. He seems much better and a hell of a lot more lethal on these hard courts than what he did at the start of the season. So, going against Everton, that I'd want to happen, but for the sake of the prediction, we're trying to win some cash over here, are we not? Give me Leonard Tien to get himself his first and well-deserved title of the season. I'm not saying Cam Norrie doesn't deserve this title either, because he does. If anything, he probably deserves it more because he's had to fight a little bit harder, if not a hell of a lot harder. So I'm hoping he does. I'm not against him winning it. I'll be happy for whoever wins and sad for whoever loses. Obviously, I want Cam Norrie to get this one a little bit more, but like I said, the way Leonard Tien's playing at the moment, he's kind of played like a champion from the get-go. Absolutely. So, I think Leonard Tien would be the way for me to go, folks. Yeah. Can't believe it. Honest to God. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? Say something about it. Very well then, folks. That is going to do us once again. Another day in the bag. One last time for Athens and Metz. We've got the finals starting next week. We're all done, aren't we? All done. What a season. What a season it has been. But there's still something left to play for today, and there's still everything to play for next week in the finals. I hope to see you there, absolutely. But thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you watching the show as always. Like and subscribe before you go, and I'd appreciate that too. But I'll be saying good night to you, or good morning, or whatever. But you take it easy, take care of yourself, take care of one another. It's the most important thing, is it not? I wish you the best of luck, however you decide to go about your day. 4-1 this week, folks. Shout it out. You deserve it. We all deserve that. That's for those that continue to believe that dare to dream. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This week was most definitely ours. Most definitely. But I'll be seeing you around. Enjoy the matches today. See you tomorrow.